So for us, 2017 started off with actually quite a bit of the reaction to the energy literacy letter that was put in the Vancouver Sun. It was a remarkable response. It really did show that there is a silent majority supporting energy development, responsible energy development in British Columbia. That led to a lot of interviews and speaking opportunities to showcase Fort St. John and talk about how we recognize that energy is not just a commodity, it's a responsibility, and that people really need to understand what is behind their light switch and their plug-in and their thermostat. I was able to go to the second Livable Cities Forum that is hosted internationally and do our third presentation on initiatives that the city has done, showcasing and responsible development. And so we've received a lot of awards on the work that we have done, and it actually led up to us receiving the Community of the Year Award for Clean Energy BC. So it was a remarkable year around energy literacy, and it started a lot with the work that we've done and the letters that we've written, and the even a lot of the tours that we have had. We've been working with our First Nations neighbors to build a stronger relationship with each and every one of those communities. And there's 4 communities that we work a lot with in the North Peace, and that would be the Doig River First Nations, the Blueberry River First Nations, Halfway River First Nations, and Prophet River First Nations. And so as communities manage their treaty land entitlement and additions to treaty land negotiations with the province and the feds, we're working to build relationships with them so that we can work together in a win-win scenario for the communities. And so the initial steps that we're doing is learning a lot more about the history of the Beaver people in this North Peace area and what they have done over the years. Of course, this was Canada's sesquicentennial year, 150th anniversary of Confederation. And so it was a year of activities around that. And we had, of course, a lot of activities around the 75th anniversary of the Alaska Highway. So that was significant. A lot of the history and opportunities to share some of that with people that are new to Fort St. John. We have the mosaic that Fort St. John participated in. It is now hanging in the lobby of the city of Fort St. John. So as people come and go, I encourage them to take a look at this mosaic. It's made out of a lot of small tiles that people contributed to, and it's quite a remarkable piece. Of course, last summer there was a forest fires. We were not impacted by those forest fires in the sense that there was no forests on fire up here. But we had a lot of our staff who are trained in emergency management go down to assist in those, in the emergency operations centers. Our fire department went down and our trained staff. But more so our community really stepped up to the plate and pulled together funds and donated goods and contributed in a very big way. Even our agriculture producers got together, and I remember driving up through the Pine Pass and seeing the semis full of the hay heading down to livestock producers in the Caribou and North Thompson area that could not feed their livestock because they had lost the feed that were in their fields. So it was an absolute heartwarming to see that our community stepping up and helping people that are really quite a ways away from us. In sports, we hosted the International Masters Speed Skating. And of course, we had a great time again hosting the second U17 in partnership with the City of Dawson Creek. And we announced the 2020 BC Winter Games that will be held here. So we're looking forward to having that opportunity come to us in a couple of years. And the planning for that activity will be starting this month. We have an agreement with UNBC's Community Development Institute. They have an office here in Fort St. John. It's called The Forge. and they are building things there for this community. And one of them is the Leaders Lab. So they've got they're going to have activities on how people can become leaders in their own right, and really encourage people to step up to the plate. We have a community advisory committee that is very robust. It's representative of the community. There's no elected official sitting on it. They'll be able to provide input into how we move forward. They've got a speaker series that they'll be bringing in. They've already had 2 speakers. The last one was Doug Griffiths. He was a former MLA in Alberta, talked about 13 ways to kill your community. It was a remarkable presentation. Looking forward to so many more. The other thing they're going to be working on for us is a social framework, just making sure that all of the agencies and enterprises that are in our area are connected together. How do we make sure that, whether it's economic upswings or downturns, how do we ensure that our vulnerable population, our disenfranchised citizens, and arts, culture, and recreation are supported during that time? How do we make sure that people have quality of life and quality of experience when they live in Fort St. John? So a lot of that, the stuff that we're going to be doing is driven by our budget, and I'm very pleased to say that once again we received recognition for our reporting to the community on the work plans that we've had in place, as well as our budgets and our audits. And so it's the second year that we've received this award and this recognition, and it's good to know that the community has the ability to take a look, and our annual report is very robust and explains everything that we have been doing. And thanks to the public for all of their participation in a lot of our consultation processes that we've had over the years. This last one, we wrapped up all of the public participation in our official community plan. And so that is off to the stakeholders for their review. And once that's back, we'll be able to put that into bylaw and make sure that we can grow with a good vision in mind. But without the public participation on that, we wouldn't have a robust OCP coming forward. And the other one that they participated in a remarkable way was the Downtown Action Plan. And so we're looking forward to that being put into place and moving that forward as well. It's going to allow us to do a lot of good things downtown. Of course, we support the Fort St. John and District Chamber of Commerce with the Love Fort St. John program, and that is really to encourage support to our small and medium-sized enterprises, our independent stores that are here in Fort St. John, and it's really been remarkable. The response to that program here has been really, really good, and we weren't really expecting as much as we did, but what it's really done is bring out a lot of our artisans and the small businesses that we do have working in Fort St. John, and they've seen a lot of support through that program. So all of the work that we have been doing really came together, and we were asked by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to work with 4 municipalities in Peru. And so we have sent some municipal volunteers down at no cost to the community to work with these municipalities who are in a similar situation to us. They're considered to be remote communities, rural communities that have extraction industry in their backyard. And so how have we managed to take a planned and principled approach to growing and making sure that we stay focused on our compass bearing, that vision that our community has set for us through our public participation consultations that we've done. So we have been doing that, and so 2018, looking forward, we have some initiatives in our strategic plan that we're pretty excited about. One of them is working with some of the agencies that are in the city that need assistance with recruiting. People will recall how we stepped up with the physicians crisis when we had to recruit. And so we've created a document called Move Up, You'll Love Living Here. And so this document is just chock full of information on the lifestyle here and some of the amenities, opportunities, employment, etc. And so this material, along with other information, videos, et cetera, can be available to agencies that are going out to recruit for their professionals to the community. Some of the other items that they'll see coming up in 2018, according to our strategic plan, includes yard and waste compost. We're very interested in getting that going. Of course, that's a function of the regional district, and so we'll be working with the regional district to ensure that we'll be able to do that. We're going to take a look at a feasibility study to see if we can twin the micro hydro line that we have right now. That project is bringing in about $80,000 a year, and so being able to twin that would be a significant opportunity for the community. We've come to a point where we need a new RCMP detachment building. I was joking the other day and said that if we bring one more officer into the community, we're going to have to put them in the broom closet, and I was told that that might have already happened. So we did, a few years ago, purchase the land north of the detachment, and we're taking a look at cost estimates now and what that will take. And we're speaking with our federal counterpart here and the provincial counterpart to see if there's any kind of opportunity for cost sharing on the capital side of this. We already have agreements on the operational side, so we'll see what we can do to save every penny we possibly can. We've heard very loudly and clearly that public washrooms are needed in some of our public spaces, parks, walking trails, etc. And so over the next 5 years, we're looking at doing one per year in the different parks and walking trails, etc. And so that will allow people to get out and enjoy our outdoor a lot more. And we also heard very clearly that a multiplex, some kind of multifunction facility needs to be built. And so we have, we initiated very, very high level initiation conversation with the regional district about looking at something that might be able to be built here in Fort St. John that would be multifunction. We do know that the pool is aging. We need more soccer pitches. The Super Park has always wanted to have a place and some kind of indoor playground establishment. And so we'll take a look. We have our master parks and recreation plan that has already been done, so we know what we have out there. We don't want to duplicate what we have, but if those facilities are aging and need to be replaced, then there's that opportunity for discussion on that. We are also interested in following up with the regional district in their strategic plan about having a comprehensive development plan for the area around Fort St. John to just ensure that as the area grows, it grows in a sustainable way. And the last little piece is we have been asked to host a delegation of women leaders that will come up from Peru, but they've expanded it to not only Peru, but also to Colombia, and perhaps even some of the African countries that are working with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities as well. So we're creating some ideas on what they might be interested in seeing based on what we have seen when we have been down there. So we're looking forward to doing that in May of 2018 and showing off the community.